exercises. The first exercise in the Bowflex Power Pro workout is the seated leg extension. Now, Andrew's going to do this exercise, so we're going to hook him up. You want to make sure that the leg attachment cable is attached, and we're going to put 30 pounds on, which is a good resistance for Andrew. You want to make sure you've tested the resistance for yourself. Now, this looks complicated, but it's actually quite simple to get into. All you want to do is straddle the leg attachment first, and then sit down. You can place your hands back either on the bench or on the seat to help lift the body up nice and tall. Now, the muscles we're working on this exercise are the large group of muscles on the top of the thigh, the quadriceps. They help to stabilize the knee, and they're also really important for running, jumping, and lifting. Now, you want to make sure that you keep the knees about hip width, and you want the knees to point straight ahead. You don't ever want them to roll out. You also want to make sure you sit up straight, you keep the chest lifted, and that spine nice and long. Now, as you're doing this movement, notice how Andrew is keeping the movement even. It's nice and slow. There's no speed involved, and he's breathing very fluid. Now, what you also want to think about is keeping some tension on the quads the entire time, almost like a rubber band, so you're not going to completely release the tension, and you never want to kick as you do this movement, so it should seem very smooth and fluid. Remember to use your hands back there to support the back. Take the movement nice and controlled. We got a couple left. Excellent. And the lat pull down is a great exercise for the back and the biceps. And a lot of people wonder where they should actually grab on the bar. Well, here's a little check. Andrew's going to put his arms up to about 90 or to about shoulder level with his elbows at about 90 degrees. Now, that's about the grip width that he wants to use on the bar, or a little bit narrower. So he's going to slide himself under, and he's going to reach up at about that width, sit down, and then slowly bring the bar down towards his chest. Now, what you want to remember as you're doing this is that you want to think about pulling the shoulders down, keeping the chest lifted and the abs tight, while keeping really good spinal alignment. Now, the bar may or may not touch your chest, and the elbows may or may not touch your side. Everyone's a little bit different. But you want to make sure you do this very, very slowly. Look at the control he's got here. This looks great. Once again, we're really emphasizing no speed on this. It's nice and fluid. You can pause if you need to, but just make sure there's no change of speed on the movement. Keep the body nice and tall. Make sure you breathe. Excellent. Now, you know, the major muscles working here on the back, but you've also got some help from the biceps. So this is a real power-packed exercise. There's a lot going on here. Excellent. Make sure you breathe through it. Now, we've worked the back. We're going to work the chest. Once you have that, reach back for the handles. Now, I want you to notice how Andrew gets into this. He's going to grab both handles and then almost do kind of a little bicep curl to keep the hand close to his shoulder before he brings it up and out wide. You're going to bring the arms in front of you. Now, one thing that's great about this exercise is you'll know if your arms are going in the right direction because you're going to feel the cable just lightly brush against your arm. So you're kind of at that 45-degree position, and you want that cable to brush across you. So you see a lot of people who let their arms come back or too far down. Just kind of use that as your marker. Now, you want to really think about slowly pressing the hands forward. Keep those arms in line with the cable. Raise the chest, and then squeeze the shoulder blades just slightly. Now, really control the range of motion here. Andrew's got great technique, and he's really making sure that there's no speed involved. Excellent. Now, you don't have to let the arms cross the body. You can just kind of bring them together in the front. Squeeze out those last few reps. His chest is really working here. You feel that? Yeah. This is a great exercise on the Bowflex. I brought along Andrew and Kate to help us out with the exercises. The first exercise in the Bowflex Power Pro workout is the seated leg extension. Now, Andrew's going to do this exercise, so we're going to hook him up. You want to make sure that the leg attachment cable is attached, and we're going to put 30 pounds on, which is a good resistance for Andrew. You want to make sure you've tested the resistance for yourself. Now, this looks complicated, but it's